up guys, it's Nick, and today we're going to be taking a look at the iPhone 8 and iPhone 8 Plus and whether or not they're still worth buying in 2019. So without further ado, let's get right into this. So the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus came out in late 2017 and are actually the last iPhones to have a home button. So if that's something you want to keep, then this is the phone for you. They aren't that much different than the 2016 iPhone 7, but they did have some nice improvements in the camera, the processor, and the design. So let's start here, the design. The iPhone 8 is a really gorgeous phone, at least that's my opinion. It has a glass back as well as a front and an aluminum frame, giving it a really premium feel. If the glass back sounds familiar, it's because it's exactly what the iPhone 4 had back in 2010. It's crazy to think that Apple switched back to an old design, yet they had it ahead of the game almost 10 years ago. The glass back not only looks better, but it also allows for wireless charging, which I'm probably never gonna use, but it's still a nice feature. You're not getting the stainless steel found in the iPhone 10, which makes the phone a little bit weaker, but most people are probably going to put a case on it anyways, which you should do because otherwise the phone will crack. The iPhone 8 also has fast charging capabilities, but you have to buy the charger separately from Apple. So here you have two size options with the smaller 4.7-inch model and the bigger 5.5-inch iPhone 8 Plus. Here I have the bigger 8 Plus, and this smaller phone is my mom's iPhone 7, which looks identical to the smaller 8, except the back is made out of aluminum, but that's just about it. The smaller iPhone 8 again is 4.7 inches with a resolution of 750 by 1334 and pixel density of 326 pixels per inch. It does not have an OLED panel found in the iPhone 10 or newer minus the XR and iPhone 11, but it still looks pretty good. It's crisp, clear, and best of all, there are no visible pixels. The bigger 8 Plus is 5.5 inches and comes with a resolution of 1920 by 1080 and pixel density of 401 pixels per inch. So the quality on the iPhone 8 Plus will look significantly better, but you'd be hard pressed to notice a difference. If you're thinking about getting the iPhone 8 but don't know what size to get, just get the one that fits best in your hand and that you would find more comfortable to use. Or if you don't care, then the 8 Plus is your best option, which is what I went for considering that I was coming from the smaller iPhone 6. Below the display we have the home button with second generation Touch ID, which is extremely speedy. Now the home button is actually capacitive rather than a physical button. Basically when you press on it, it vibrates to mimic a click. It may sound weird, but trust me when I say you'll get used to it fairly quickly. Plus, less physical parts means less breakable parts, so there's that. On the bottom of the phone we have the lightning port and two speaker grills. Unfortunately we do not have a headphone jack, but I'm honestly fine with it because of better sound quality, and I also have AirPods, which makes up for not having a jack. The iPhone 8 does have an IP67 water resistance for up to 1 meter for 30 minutes, so if you do drop it in the water you should be good. Although it is worth mentioning that if your phone is cracked it will no longer be water resistant, so please be careful and use a case. Battery life will vary device to device depending on how used it's been over the years, as well as on which size you have. The smaller 8's battery is sized at 1821 mAh, which should be more than good enough to get you through the day. The 8 Plus, on the other hand, is a monster with battery life, with its battery being sized at 2691 mAh. This should easily last you the day with moderate to heavy use, and it's honestly one of my favorite things about this phone. In fact, it's even one of the reasons why I decided to get this phone. The camera on the iPhone 8 is really good, with the rear sensor having 12 megapixels and the ability to shoot video in 4K at 60 frames per second. The iPhone 8 Plus has a secondary telephoto lens, which not only allows for 2x zoom, but you can also take portrait mode shots that come out like this. It's not something you really need, but if you absolutely want it, then the 8 Plus is your best choice. The front-facing camera has 7 megapixels and the ability to shoot video in 1080p at 30 frames per second. It does a really good job at taking selfies, assuming I'm not in the picture. As you can see here, this selfie looks pretty good. The background is pretty clear and it's not pixelated, which is nice. If you were thinking about getting the iPhone 8 but were worried about the camera, don't be. It does a really good job at taking photos. And now I'll show some examples from the device for those curious. iPhone 8 Plus in beautiful 4K at 60 frames per second, and it looks really, really good. Definitely the best I've seen in an iPhone so far. Another reason I decided to get the iPhone 8 is performance and how well it's set for the next few years to come. It carries Apple's A11 chipset, with the smaller iPhone 8 having 2GB of RAM and the 8 Plus having 3GB of RAM. You get some RAM, I get some RAM, we all get some RAM. RAM is very important in a smartphone, and I'm very happy to say that the iPhone 8 performs pretty well on iOS 12. And with iOS 13, it's bound to get even better with all of those new features. Social media, gaming, video streaming, and literally anything you do is going to fly like a charm on this phone. And hopefully that'll continue, as Apple should keep supporting this phone until at least late 2023 with iOS 16, although I could see it getting iOS 17. Support-wise, you can practically download any app and any game on this phone. Even Fortnite, but that game is dead, so just don't download it. You'd be better off, playing different games. There really isn't much that it can't do, making this phone totally worth buying right now. If you want to buy it outright, Apple does sell it brand new on their website for a starting price of $449, which is actually decent. That is for the smaller iPhone 8 coming in with 64GB of storage. You could always buy it off contract, although that'll lock you to the phone for 2 years, and who knows how the phone will perform in 2 years. I think the best way to buy this phone is used or refurbished online on a website like Craigslist or eBay. On eBay.com, we can find the iPhone 8 typically go for $350, which is not bad. The 8 Plus is priced much higher for $450. Again, just go for the phone that fits best in your hand, or go for the 8 Plus if you really don't care, just for that battery life, honestly. So at the end of the day, the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus are great phones for what they are and should continue to perform well for another couple of years. If you're not quite ready to take the leap into the iPhone 10 design, there's really not much room to complain. This is the best iPhone for you, especially if you're coming from something old like an iPhone 6 or 5S. If you have one right now, you probably won't have to upgrade for another year or two, which is awesome. With all of that being said, I think I'm pretty much done here. I love the iPhone 8, I've had it for the last week and it's been treating me well. This is by far the best iPhone I have ever owned, and hopefully I can take good care of it to where it lasts me a really long time, because I haven't had such good luck with that in the past. I have an outer box case on it, as well as a glass screen protector on the front and back of the phone, so that should do the job. Also, it's way more durable than a 6, so it shouldn't break on me with the case. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving the video a like and consider subscribing for more content just like this. You can always follow me on my social media pages, links are in my channel description. And with all that being said, this is Nick Alviso signing off, and I will see you all next time. Peace.